Oh yeah, baby, baby. Well, you're looking for some hard rockin' news. You don't know where to go, but you know it's there, but you don't know where to go and get it. Come over to Shane, come over to Shane. It makes you feel so good inside when you know all the latest news. Sometimes it's so funny, so happy, and sometimes Shane delivers bad news. Jive Talkin with Shane. It's gonna drive you insane. And you go into your brain, and your brain down. So come on, baby, 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 baby. That was sick. As the kids say. The kids used to say that in about the 2000s. They say, that was fucking sick, dude. That's exactly what that was. Welcome, one and all, back to 175 of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. So many news stories we won't be talking about. So many we will be talking about. I guess the biggest piece of news we need to talk about is the former bassist for Weezer's wife was shot by the police. We're not going to look at that story. It's not on. I guess Weezer doesn't fit in with Blabbermouth because I didn't see a story about them. Here's a few stories we won't be talking about. Gene Simmons is so damn sad that Ace and Peter didn't get to enjoy the fruits of their labor. So he's sad about that. We won't be talking about that. Papa Roach's Jacoby Shaddix on the new metal resurgence. It's very popular right now with the kids. And he says, it is so cool. I mean, it is cool. Biff Byford says Paul Quinn is still sending him new song ideas, so they're working on it. Soulfly part ways with their bass player. We do have Maxi Cavallari on this program today, talking about the end of Sepultura and all that. What's some other news that I'm missing here? New albums are coming out. Mastodon, I did a Jive Talkin news nugget about this. Mastodon says they might pull off a punk record. They want to get one song out this year before the end of the year, before they hit that tour in May, I think it is. Yeah, they're saying they might want to do like a quick, fast, punky little album. And I'd be interested in hearing that because Mastodon really can't do any wrong in my eyes. I even like The Hunter, and a lot of people say Curl of the Burl and all that shit. They don't care for it. Although Black Tongue, one of their great tunes that they always play, is on that record. But that's neither here nor there. Welcome. I want to welcome each and every one of you to this fine, fine podcast. Do you know what you do for my heart when I know that you've listened to it from right now until the very end, until the very last thing, until another video pops up? Hopefully another episode of my podcast. But welcome, one and all. We've got your comments. It's the best part of the show here. So I've cut it down to 3 succinct, tight, and delicious stories for you. You can see these two guys here. That's Earring to Nose from Skid Row, and that's Tracii Guns, and they've had words. But 3 stories. We're going to check in with freaking Erik Gronwall. Is doing his first live performance. We will capture a bit of that with Michael Schenker. Erik Gronwall is now performing for now with Michael Schenker. But hey, he's got to build himself a repertoire. He's already put out an autobiography. He's only 30. So he's got to keep doing other things or he's not going to have enough for his second autobiography book. Okay? It was crazy when I heard that Weezer, and I think he's the former bass player, like the first record, the good one, the really good record. She went out there and the cops are saying, put it in the air, man, put it in the air. Drop the gun. I guess there was some kind of intruder in their neighborhood or something, and she went out there to get him out of there. But then when the cops showed up and was saying, hey, now I've heard she was just shot in the shoulder. So they gave her just believe you me, they all wanted to go crazy on it. But they just says, well, let's just give her one in the shoulder because she's probably screaming, sir, I'm trying to protect my property. I don't know what was going on with it. But I thought it was really weird to wake up and hear that kind of a news. I hope all are well. I hope that life is treating you very good. I hope that this is still the year of no fear. We don't care. We don't care what they're going to tell us in the newspapers, in the magazines, or in the news. We don't care about any of that because it's the same old shit over and over and over again. War fought, war avoided. Nope, just war fought. We don't need it. We don't need that in our simple lives. What we need is heavy metal fucking this. And I think I might know somebody who might deliver the news pretty fucking good, if you ask me. And that's another thing. I'm going to watch my mouth this time around. I've been getting really loose with the swears. And, I'm just trying to cut back on that. Because some people say that it makes you sound less intelligent when you swear. I got my greenies. We're ready to rock. Let's get into this. I thank you all for tuning in. You're just the greatest bunch of folks. I'm sending out the best positive vibes to you each and every time. And we're going to be chatting with a couple of you in the comments. Let's go. Mirrored sunglasses and Tracii Guns here. Rachel Bolan shoots down Tracii Guns' claim Skid Row is leaving. Don't keep doing this. This is a new thing that's been happening. I don't know, man. Let's just do it. These guys, you got to get this under control. Rachel Bolan shoots down Tracii Guns' claims Skid Row is leaving millions on the table by refusing to reunite with Sebastian Bach during an appearance on the latest episode of the Candid Mic with Fran Strime podcast. Skid Row bassman Rachel Bolan was asked to respond to LA Guns guitarist Tracii Guns' recent comments that Bolan and his Skid Row bandmates are leaving millions of dollars on the table by refusing to reunite with the singer Sebastian the Man Bach. Bolan said as transcribed, "It's a bummer because I thought Tracii was a bud." It's really funny because everyone thinks that they're an accountant. They think they're an accountant, promoters. That's what they think they are. Everyone thinks that they know how much is coming in. Well, I'm just saying, Rachel. We approached a possible reunion with Sebastian at one point years ago, and obviously it imploded very quickly. There's not millions of dollars out there being offered to Skid Row for a Skid Row reunion with Sebastian. I mean, as Skid Row, we're making really good money right now. It wasn't much more that we would have gotten by getting back together with Sebastian. But yeah, I saw what Tracii said about that, and I'm just like, why doesn't Tracii just stay in his own yard? You know what I mean? It's funny hearing him. Because other people shout out numbers too, okay? Everyone can shout out numbers. They're like, they can make this band and that and the other thing, and it's like, one, no, we can't. That's totally false. And two, quality of life, motherfuckers. That's not my swear, that's his. I read the news here, people. You want to be happy? Do you want to be happy doing what you're doing? And I'm not here to talk shit about anybody. Everyone. There's that career and there's my career. Tracii has his own career. He should worry about that and not about the Skid Row. Can you hear my guts going crazy? I've had one piece of beef jerky today. I had a blueberry muffin in the morning. And some of these delicious. Have you tried these? Pistachio, honey. What is it? Honey roasted? Yes, honey roasted. Shellless pistachios. I told myself as soon as I finished eating them, I said, I'll never buy peanuts again. I will never buy peanuts again. They tasted so damn good. And the shells weren't on them. You could just, I pounded the whole damn bag in 3 bites. Just great. If you haven't tried those, do it. He said at the time, transcribed by Blabbermouth, I hate to bring up Skid Row and Sebastian because I love all those guys. I love that band. Oh, this is Tracii. Guns addressed Skid Row's reluctance to reunite with Bach during a recent appearance on the Chuck Shoot podcast. We know that one. I hate to bring up Skid Row and Sebastian because I love all those guys. I say that first. I love the band. I love them together. I love them separate. But the guys in the band, their point of view is that Sebastian, to them, is, well, a shithead. And then Sebastian's point of view is like, well, they wanted a David Lee Roth type of guy. And my point of view is, don't ever leave that kind of fucking money on the table. Don't ever leave that kind of money on the table. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's, again, reporting. The fuck is wrong with you, all of you? Seriously. No joke. I'm not making a joke or a funny. Ha ha ha. Bullshit. They don't ever have to even see Sebastian to go on and perform live and to make millions of dollars. Not just $1 million bucks. Millions of dollars. He's coming out hard. I think that's a bit dreamy on his part, though. Tracii Guns, don't you believe? That he's kind of going, fuck, I wish man, if I had a project like that. Because that's basically Tracii Guns, and you got Philip Seymour Hoffman on the vocals there. And that's pretty much all you really want, right? In LA Guns. So they've already topped out. Yes, absolutely, unequivocally, yes and yes. Skid Row was a high-impact band, see? They make pretty decent money now. Even not having a singer, they make pretty decent money. That's where Rachel's going, you think she's a fucking accountant. How'd you look in our books? Tracii Guns, how did you get in there and look in our books and tell us that we're making pretty good money at these shows? Because we're not. You go play Dawn's Deer Lodge in Montana. See how much money you make. They probably do, though, right? Tracii Guns and the LA Guns will play the bars. I think the excitement for a good 200 shows over 3 years, no problem, man. They would be playing arenas for sure. When host Chuck Shoot, he'd come in. He gave Tracii one of them. He says, this is called the power cut. Dang. When host Chuck Shoot asked if Tracii thinks the Skid Row guys don't like Sebastian that much. Do you think they not like him that much? That they're willing to cost themselves millions of dollars? Do you think they not like him that much? Millions of dollars? They think they don't like Sebastian. True, Chuck. They think they don't like Sebastian that much. When you manifest hatred, preach it now. When you manifest hatred based on an experience or a hundred experiences, like they say, doing the same thing another time and expecting it to be different is the definition of insanity. No. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting a different result. Is that what he's saying? Different, like they say, doing the same thing another time and expecting it to be different is the definition of insanity. I'm going to go ahead and say that's a pass on that. Where are we at with it? You guys going to say that was a pass? It's close. He almost didn't get it, but well, then do it differently. You know what I mean, Chuck? It's like, then just do it differently. I think Rachel and Snake, Skid Row guitarist, dudes, I'm really out of sync, out of works with this. I think Rachel and Snake, Skid Row guitarist Dave Sabo in particular, I think it's so wound up in their heads of how toxic Sebastian is that they've amplified it over and over and over and over and over again. And they come out in the press. No, we don't like that guy. It'll never happen. Cool, man, cool. And Sebastian's point of view, cool, whatever. But at the same time, it's the music business. It's not the friend business. Boy, ain't that the truth. They'll slice a throat. You know, you can start out as friends. But by the end of it, you're slicing each other up, man, to get the bigger piece of pie. This is really irritating me to no end. That, I mean, I can't be having the white pages go off when I'm doing this. Okay? But you're really lucky if you're doing an amazing business and you don't have to be friends. And that's ego. That's ego just standing there in the way. Me? I'm a little bit different because I really just want to play my guitar. I want to pick up my 6-string and make it talk to me. I don't worry about money. I haven't ever. And I've been broke. I've been poor. But that's not a motivating factor for me. I get excited when we make a lot of money. I don't expect it. I'm like, whoa. We make a lot of fucking money now. And someone's over there going, yes, you do, buddy, but I make twice as much. Because you're not paying attention. And it's great. It's a bonus, really. If LA Guns was as big as Skid Row, so he knows, man, fuck. I'd give away 2 of my kids. What? If LA Guns was as big as Skid Row, man, fuck. I'd give away 2 of my kids. And I only have 2 kids. Just give his children away. Could have sold your soul. You didn't do that, did you? But I'm not saying anything that nobody knows. It's just that I love all those guys. And if the Who could do it, come on, man. If the Eagles could do it, if Guns N' Roses could do it, why are you too? You're not cooler than them. All right, let's get off this page and see if we have any better luck. Ritchie Kotzen, look at this guy. What is that, an ascot? I love that. You know, when they is that a little rose on the side of it? I mean, you're a confident man if you can put on an ascot like that. But look at him. He's a pretty sharp-looking dude. You know, when he's got his hair longer, he reminds me a lot of Chris Cornell in the face. I watched, I might as well take a break here in the podcast to tell you concerts I've watched. I forgot about this one last week, Miss Althea, but I watched the 48-minute, whatever it was, documentary about Adam Ant, and then I watched a concert that was connected to it or something. That was fantastic. I watched, this band popped out of nowhere to me. It's a 2-man band, bass player, keyboardist, and drummer, singer, and they're called Death from Above 1979. And for some reason, this little EXMP Seattle radio station performance popped up on my YouTube. These guys were blistering, man. Just like, it had punk in it, it had garagey stuff, it had almost, want to say, a bit of Devo in it. Crazy. A lot of concerts I've been watching. I watched a Soundgarden concert and just, cried in my pillow for about 35 minutes. But let's get into this. Ritchie Kotzen says he once came close to joining 9 Inch Nails. Now, Ritchie Kotzen, if we're remembering right, maybe even Blabbermouth will mention it, but he was the one that indeed slept with our friend, his wife, right? In Poison. I hope that they don't put that in here, but, it's good to get in the comments and tell me. Guitar Whiz. Ritchie Kotzen has dropped a major bombshell by revealing that he once agreed to join industrial rock pioneers 9 Inch Nails. Kotzen, whose later album with Iron Maiden's Adrian Smith, Black Light / White Noise, was released on Friday. Really? Made the revelation about an abortive alliance with Trent Reznor during an interview with Hot Metal. Hot Metal. Hot Metal. What's popping up over here now? The closest band that I ever came to joining was 9 Inch Nails, a.k.a. Nin. And nobody knows that. This is a true one. Okay, he's going to tell the story here. I was friendly with the bass player from Marilyn Manson Jordy White, a.k.a. Twiggy Ramirez. That's a couple you don't see, you can't picture in your head hanging out, right? This sex magnet and that troll, I mean, he's a pretty frightening fellow, that Twiggy Ramirez, with makeup and without. He said, Twiggy Ramirez, who was playing the bass, he was slapping the bass in 9 Inch Nails, he said to me, listen, he says, yes, you've got to come down. We're having a hard time finding a guitar player. So I went down there to the Third Encore rehearsal studio in North Hollywood, and I spent the day. Trent told me, you're by far one of the best that we've tried, and I want to make love to you like an animal right now, Ritchie. You're really good at it. I would love to have you in the band. I'm going to have my manager reach out to you. And I left that day thinking, wow, okay. Okay, wow. I'm going to join another band. I never thought I would. Don't sleep with their wives. And Trent Reznor's got a pretty wife. Get her out, stay away. It's like the events occurred when Robin Fink, a former member of Guns N' Roses, was out of 9 Inch Nails between 2000 and 2008. Kotzen does indeed continue, you guys. You're so happy about that. And then a week went by. Then another week went by. And I ran into Jordy, whom I don't call Twiggy anymore. I call him by his Christian name, Jordy. And I said, what happened? He said basically Reznor said he didn't want to open up Rolling Stone magazine. He said basically Reznor said he didn't want to open up Rolling Stone magazine. Said, see the headline, 9 Inch Nails gets former Poison guitar player Ritchie Kotzen. Jordy's laying it right down to him, giving him the straight beef. Trent Reznor thinks that Poison are posers, and glam posers, and he don't want nothing to do with it. He didn't want the association with hair metal. It sucks to be right as much as I am. He didn't want the association of hair metal in that camp. And, you know, aesthetically, when you think about the fan base and you think about how people would read into something, I can kind of see that now that I think about it. I could see the point. So I jokingly said, hey, I'll do it under an alias. Because I wasn't doing anything at the time. But you were being serious. She said, you didn't jokingly. Okay, Ritchie, no. You didn't say, jokingly I said this. You said, well, I could do it under an alias. Wear a mask or something. Because I wasn't doing anything at the time, and I think he's, you know, a genius, and I would have loved to have worked with him. Kotzen appeared on Poison's 1993 album, Give Me That Native Tongue. That's another thing I'll tell you right now. I watched that Steve-O interview with Bret Michaels, and he is a wonderful guy. When you can just sit there and listen to someone rattle, like me, you can realize wonderful people like me. And Bret Michaels is one of those people. I mean, I'm watching him, and he is just a delight and a pleasure to enjoy. And I don't think we just have a little fun, you know, with Bret Michaels and stuff. All of them, really. But I just, you know, sometimes I'm like, my God, what a great person. That wasn't the first time that it stopped me going in one direction or the other, Kotzen reflected. Now, on the other side of the coin, I don't regret having been part of Poison because I think that we made a really great record. And so I would rather have the record live where it's living than have done any of the other stuff that I could have done. But that's kind of how the music business is. Is it not Friends business? It's not just about the music, and it's not about Friends. A lot of people listen with their eyes. It's true. And it's unfortunate. What? In a situation like that. Listen, say this to your betrothed. Say this to your lover. Okay? Man, woman, whatever. Say this. That line. What was that line? Let's make music with our eyes. That's what you say to your betrothed. What was the damn line? I can't find it. It's not just the music. A lot of people listen. Baby, I listen with your I listen through your eyes. Say that to your lover. You're getting some. If you do that, if you do what I'm trying to tell you to do, you're going to get some. And you haven't had any a very long time. Let's just be honest. Okay? But that's kind of how, stuff gets done. I could have done it, but that's just, that's the music business. People listen with their eyes, but it is a reality. And it's more in the rock world, by the way. He continued, I later went off and played with Stanley Clarke, and I was in Stanley Clarke's band with Stanley Clarke, the great Stanley Clarke, and Lenny White. And Stanley Clarke is an innovator and a legend. He didn't give a shit what band I was in before then. It was about the music. So he's saying, that Trent Reznor's a shallow guy. It really is about the music and rock, although I'm a rock guy. I love it. As much as they want you to believe it, it's not really about the music. It's about the music and a lot of other stuff that come along with it. So you just have to kind of put that hat on when you're in that realm. I don't put on any hats but this one. Look at that. Imagine an erotic video with those two in it. And guess what song's playing? Now, I'm not saying either one of them are homosexual fellows, but I'm just saying. I mean, that gets the heart beating, doesn't it? It's like I said in what video was it that we did? Oh, that Europe video Friday. Joey Tempest is a very attractive man, and it doesn't mean you're gay just to say, I like to look at it. It's stunning. It's like those high cheekbones and everything. He's got a set of high cheekbones. And another thing, why can't you go under an alias? Jordy does. Maxi Cavalieri. He says, hi, Shane, there you are. You're my friend, Shane. You're deep down in my goodies, in my soul. You're my friend. I never met you. I don't know you one day. I don't know you at all on the internet. But now I'm watching this video of you talking like me and telling me that I love you. And I love you. Thank you, Max. Maxi Cavallari says on the end of Sepultura, everybody knows that it's not the same band. Of course, Mike Leon, Soulfly, will be letting go of, I believe his name's Mike Leon, longtime Soulfly bass player. Another bit of interesting news is that we're not talking about is Bruce Dickinson. I learned that the drummer for British Lions, Steve Harris's band, will be the fill-in for the tour. I didn't know that. In a new interview with Full Metal Jackie, nationally syndicated radio show, founding Sepultura artist, vocalist, guitarist, mastermind Max Cavalieri was asked how he feels about seeing the group that he started and that played such a role in his early musical life come to its conclusion. The 55-year-old Max, he's only 55? He's only 3 years older than me? And I was standing next to him watching the Deftones at a small club, and he had his young son in his arms, and he was only 2 years older than me? This will not break my spirit. who has spent the last few years playing with Sepultura-centric shows with his brother, former Sepultura drummer Igor the Igor Cavallera, responded as transcribed by my mouth, "The way I feel," and I'm not saying this just for myself. I think a lot of fans feel that me and Igor kind of carry the spirit of Sepultura with us, everything that we do. And I don't know, they still call it Sepultura, but everybody knows that it's not the same. And it's never going to be the same, never going to be the same. And I don't have nothing to do with that, with what they're doing. With the disbanding of the band, me and Igor, we have our own path. Oh, I can hear the Brazilian drums beating when he says that. Me and Igor, we have our own path. We are on our own thing. We are revisiting those old materials on our own time. And the way we did then was the way we always did. It was from our hearts. For us, it's really special to preserve that. I think it's kind of like that younger heart, the teenage heart that's pumping and good and big and alive that lives inside of you. Boy, he ain't kidding about the teenage heart. The more I get away from all the negativity, I'm telling you, I get younger and younger. I might look older and older. I feel younger and younger. The further away you get from every negative person, every negative thing in your life, you watch what happens to you. I think this kind is like the young heart. It's the good, strong teenage heart that lives inside of you. I kind of like keep that really sacred. Like Dio and the Sacred Heart. You know the song, you find the sacred heart, somewhere beating in the night. And no matter what happens in this business of the politics of music, I try not to let it affect my young mind and soul that I carry with me all the time. What a beautiful man. His young mind and soul. You don't want the mind, buddy. The mind is the one that says all those insulting things to you and tells you you're no good and everything else. You are the thing that listens to it, that hears that in your head and is listening to the thought happen when it pops in your head. And it's, oh, you're no good at that. You're the thing that catches that and says, why did I just say I'm no good at that when I'm really good at that? I try not to let that affect my young mind and my soul, and I carry it with me all the time. So I feel like when I talk about Sepultura, it was a special band of a special time, and we celebrated that. I get a chance to celebrate that with Igor, regardless of what the other guys are doing. Well, this page hasn't done a shit on us yet, so I'm happy about that. Last November, Sepultura guitarist Andreas Kisser was asked for his opinion on Max and Igor's decision to revisit the earlier Sepultura albums, Morbid Visions and Bestial Devastation, and re-record them and put them out, along with the re-recorded version of Andreas' first album with Sepultura, Schizophrenia. Andreas told the Impact Metal, I don't think anything. I mean, it's a weird choice that they had, but I think artistic value is 0 or Z. Maybe they're doing it for some money or something, but there's no reason to do something like that. I much rather prefer the Troops of Doom, the new band from Jaro, former Sepultura guitarist Jaro Tormentor Guids, which are doing a really amazing tribute to that era. Very honest. We got to check some of that out. Doing new stuff, writing new music. But if they're having a good time, so let it be. I don't care, man. I just think it's totally unnecessary. It's really very disrespectful for themselves. From themselves. for their own selves in his past. Oh, Andreas, he continues here. It's weird to see a guy, Max, who always says, oh, I did this, I did all that. I'm so creative. And I did everything by myself. And I'm doing shit like re-recording riffs that we did 30 and 40 years ago. It doesn't click. The rhetoric with the example, but whatever. I just don't think that the artistic value, it's zero. All right, we got just a splash more of this. Just a splash more of this, and we're going to get into Erik Gronwall, then your comments, and then we're going to get out. Earlier last year, Max told V13 about the decision to re-record Morbid Visions, Bestial Devastation, and Schizophrenia. I think Igor and I were doing special tours celebrating the other Sepultura records, like we did Roots. And I want to say it real bad, but I'm not. And then we did Beneath the Remains. That's a great record. And the reaction was so explosive, and the fans were reacting so good with the way we were playing and the stuff like that. I mentioned to Igor, my brother, Keen. I mentioned to my brother Igor that it would be cool to have this sound on the album, on this old records that sound like shit. Especially if we can get them to sound the way we sound now, because we sound great, and I tell you that now, we sound great right now. With the way we are playing, I mean to say, we're doing really great right now the way we're playing. A lot of people, there's a big taboo about re-recording. There's a lot of people who are freaked out about touching old stuff. I have had to kind of block all that and think, fuck it, let's do it, man. But let's do it the way we want to do it. The way we want to hear it as a fans. I think that's the difference in approach that we took. Okay. All right. I'm starting to drive myself crazy, guys. Can you believe it? We've got a lot of comments. We got 15 of them. You guys put up some Harvey Wallbangers there. So we're going to check this out. There he is. There's Fuzzy Hat Johnny, Michael Schenker in his fuzzy hat, and he's the first man to ever play the Flying V. And then his rotten brother stole it from him. Remember that?
My terrible brother Uns Rudolph took all my ideas. Every idea's what I come up with in my head. Rudolph go and steal.
Erik Gronwall, he's got the mic, he's ready to go. Watch Erik's Skid Row, ex-Skid Row singer, Erik Gronwall, play first show with legendary guitarist Michael Schenker. Legendary guitar man's German guitarist, rocker Michael Schenker kicked off his Spring 2025 European tour Wednesday night, April 9th, at is this somewhere? Die Bordersche in Zoetermeer, the Netherlands. Schenker is touring in support of his recent release, My Years with UFO, album celebrating the 50th anniversary of Michael's Years with UFO. Joining Michael on this fine trek across the nations and the wonderful beauties of the world, vocalist, former Skid Row frontman Erik Gronwall, who is the featured singer on the Mother Mary song on My Years with UFO. Okay. Which also includes a guest appearance by Guns N' Roses Slash. Oh, he's everywhere, isn't he? That Slash, he's really everywhere. Natural Thing. You make me feel like a natural thing. Here he is. He's got vocal mic to mouth. Let me have a sip of this. Did I say sip? I'm in a massive chug. That's what I do. Not really a sipper. Unless it's a... Oh, you know what I miss? Oh, I miss it. An ice cold Wild Turkey 101 on the rocks. On the ice. That's... You sip that son of a gun. And it tastes so good. And it just that burn on the tongue and the throat. You say, yeah, man. But I'm not going to do it. Not going to drink. But man, oh man, that's a sipping drink right there. Everything else is chugging drinks. But Wild Turkey, that's a sipping man's drink. Let's get into it. We're going to watch a bit of this. Get into your comments. You're loving it. You're happy about it.
Please welcome Michael Schenker. My years with UFO.
Michael Bleeding Schenker.
Hello, everybody.
All right, come on. Get that volume up for you. I know Dr. Doctor. I don't know this tune. This is a Natural Woman. It's a good tune. I sure wish the guy was on the other side. I would have liked to seen a bit of Schenker over there, but let's get a little bit of a... Please don't do nothing. Dr. Doctor will come in. Doctor, doctor, You'll hear this song at every Iron Maiden show. You ever notice that? Before they come on, this is what plays most times that I've ever seen them. I mean, these aren't very loud. Should we turn on two at a time, see how that sounds? What's this? Lights Out? Is this Lights Out in London? Is that what that is? I think it is. Isn't that? Guys, we got to keep listening. I need to hear the chorus. Lights out in London. All right, got you. Oh, lights out, lights out. See, here's what's crazy, guys. You know this. We'll get on to your comments now. We're done with that shit. But you know I've got the complete 80s. It's correct. One of my favorite playlists on my Spotify, the complete metal guide, 80s metal guide, something like that. And I've heard that song 1,000 times. And that's UFO. And I just, you know. Lights out in London. Yeah. It is that time. It is time for your comments. This is a fun portion of the show. And the funnest part, I mean, right out the gate, is clicking all this shit closed. Get it out. I'll never lose my love for Blabbermouth, but I'm just saying this ad thing is just it's gotten under my skin a bit. But I love it. Whatever. We've got your comments here. I'm happy to get into them. We have a couple of new folks, I do believe, and you guys have written some shit. Right now, I do not have to, currently on the PO meter, I do not have to urinate. But after we get through Mike Buchanan here, I mean, my God, it might be about ready to go. On this week's movies that are bad, but we love them anyways, I'm giving you one of my all-time top 10 movies, The Changeling. Is that the creepy one with the old guy that played Patton? Now listen here, you son of a bitch. And he's in that house. gets that haunted house? Find out. Mike saying, shut the fuck up, do it, dude. Horror films have become caricatures over the years that contain characters, situations, and elements you've seen before. The exceptions have been The Sixth Sense and Scream. The Sixth Sense cleverly turned the ghost genre on its head, and Scream, what did it do when it turned the ghost genre on its head? You mean Bruce Willis is... Spoiler alert. Scream mocked the slasher genre while still providing some good thrills. However, there is only one film when it comes to the haunted house genre. Peter Medic's The Changeling is everything a horror film should be. It's suspenseful, well acted, contains an intelligent plot, and uses no special effects or gore to obtain its objective. It generates real fear. George C. Scott, this is the good kind of fear, by the way. Not the fear for your life, but fun fear of horror movies, you know. George C. Scott plays John Russell. He's a man trying to endure the tragic loss of his wife and daughter. He rents a mysterious old house from the Historic Society where he can compose out of it. He's an accomplished piano player and takes a job teaching piano at a university. He's got quite the reputation as the size of the class is monstrous. Yeah, that thing was massive. Soon, things begin to get strange. Every morning, there are loud banging noises from upstairs in the house. These noises lead to a bedroom where a child's wheelchair is found and an old music box that plays an identical song to the one Russell's been composing. The laptop just finally calmed down. Did you hear that? It gets even more terrifying from there as Russell investigates the history of the house with the help of Claire. Yes, indeed, Claire, a beautiful member of the Historical Society, played by Trish Van Devere. Were they married? Scott and Trish have a natural chemistry, and it may be due to the fact that they were really married. I remember hearing that somewhere. Russell finds out some surprising secrets after a terrifying seance. The secrets lead him to Senator Joseph Carmichael, played by the great Melvyn Douglas. Carmichael tries to keep everything quiet, but the dead have a way of tormenting the living and keeping old secrets alive. A great horror film can derive fear from even the simplest thing. In this film, a child's ball rolling down the stairs will make your hair stand up on end. Yeah. There's also a piano striking a chord without a player, and the glass flying off the table and shattering during a seance. This film is filled with those simple things and a whole lot more. Today's films are filled with quick cuts, computer-generated effects, and loud scores. This film achieves its objective in a much more subtle fashion. Its characters are real people and not just reactors. Hey! That's what my YouTube channel is reactions. I'm a reactor. Its story is intelligent and well told. Finally, its effect is chilling and stays with you long after the experience. The mark of a truly great horror film. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play if you dare. That was well executed, Michael. I'll tell you that right now. That was well done. And that is a fine movie. It's got that kind of old feel to it. You know, they're in a big Cadillac car and just everything about it. And it's got that good twist story, you know, where they... but I agree. It's a nice little subtle number. What's going on over here? Jesus. Mike Buchanan does have a little bit of heavy metal comments here from the last episode, so we do those now. Don Dokken. If this happens to be the last album Dokken ever records and Don does retire, I say thank you for all the great music over the years. And Heaven Comes Down is a decent album and a good way to go out. All right. I haven't heard, probably don't know a tune from it. Unless, other than the ones that we've done on the channel. Ritchie Sambora, Mike Buchanan on Ritchie Sambora. I've not seen the docuseries on Hulu and probably won't either. And I got a thing to say about Ritchie Sambora too. Ritchie Sambora, I've not seen the docuseries on Hulu and probably won't either. Just not that interested. I've spoken or actually written about Kiss being the band that I've seen more live in concert. Bon Jovi comes in a distant second. Huh. Starting with Fahrenheit and going to New Jersey. I have seen them on every album tour, but not since New Jersey. The band started in Sayreville, New Jersey, and I grew up about 30 minutes away. We used to go see the band in clubs around the area. We gotta hold on to what we got. Someone fighting in the back, playing pool. Fuck you, buddy. I hit the 8-ball in. The best way to see shows, honestly, if I'm being honest, is small clubs. We used to go see the band in clubs around the area, just about the time period that the first album was coming out. So adding in those shows with the big arena shows, I would say I've seen them close to 10 times. Wow. Mike Buchanan on Kerry King. You do you, my man. Don't ever let anyone tell you what kind of music you want to make. And thanks, Shane, for the shout out about that. I would have named Kerry's band. Yeah. I'm going to read that one more time. And thanks, Shane, for the shout out about what I would have named Kerry's band. A huge miss for sure. Kingslayer. How do you not use that? It's for the taken. King, Kerry, King. Slayer, Kingslayer. I mean, he's got the money. He could have bought the band out. If there's a band called Kingslayer, all one word, he could have got it. But then again, no one contacted me about the idea. Just say no to avatars, period. What is that in reverence to? I feel I'm losing my mind here. And now it's time for Mike Buchanan's Jokes of the Week. Jive Talkin Jokes of the Week every week. Even if you think this podcast is absolute shit and you say, I can't take a minute of it, you can come here to this portion and read the jokes. Or hear the jokes. They're good. What do you call it when you're picking your nose and sneeze at the same time? A Pikachu. I once met a crazed man muttering incoherent about ancient Mesopotamia, but I had to stop him because I didn't want to hear him babble on. Imagine how loud a centipede would be if they wore tiny little flip-flops, which used to be called thongs when I was a kid. Anyone else remember that? Flip-flops used to be called thongs. And then the thong came out and we were like, oh, shit, man. Thong. Got to change it to flip-flops. It can't be thong anymore because have you seen the thong? Now every time someone calls my shoes a thong, I'm thinking of a thong. I'm thinking of, juicy badunkadunk. Apparently, to start a zoo, you need at least 2 brown and grizzly and 3 polars. It's the bare minimum. Boy, that's some sad shit, isn't it? When you go to the zoo and I hadn't been to the zoo in years, and I went and I saw this fucking polar bear sitting there and this, cement thing that was painted blue, like it's an igloo or whatever they're called. What are they called? They're breaking apart and falling into the sea. What's it called? Avalanche? I don't know. Glacier. Blue cement walls like a glacier in a little pond, and you're just like, just looked like he was sitting there with these little fucking hands up. He's sitting on his back. He's just, kill me. Are you throwing goodies over there for me to eat? Put some cyanide in it already and let me die. you can't have elephants in the circus anymore. I haven't been to the circus since you don't have elephants anymore. I love seeing elephants. When do I get to see elephants? I understand why they don't do elephants anymore, but I love elephants. And finally, my geography teacher asked if I could name a country with no R in it. I said, no way. I got it. Did you get it? Did everyone get it? I got it. That's a pretty clever joke if you think about it. I'll show myself out. Please do. P.S. Shane. Yes, Shane has another YT channel filled with all kinds of goodies. Yes, Shane Diablo 666. That was kind of my junked channel. But I made that so I could just upload a bunch of video stuff of like I think it's got my kid on there playing Michael Jackson and shit when he's little. It was just kind of, I'll just park all my videos on here. It was really when YouTube was really new. So it was like YouTube, okay, I'll just put it all up. And there wasn't really a thought about people watching it. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, I'm going to put all these songs up there. So maybe if someone comes across them from my other bands or something. I'll tell you, it's not as entertaining as this channel. And a lot of people don't think this is very entertaining. So who knows what. Miss out. And by the way, that if there are videos with my son on there, he's now a big time TikToker, wizard in a t-shirt, and he's got like 500,000, 470,000 followers, and he does a lot of Dungeons and Dragons and games, board games, and video game shit. He does the streaming. He's one of those guys. Hey, fuck you, buddy. Come on. Fuck you. Miss Althea coming in. We're off it. We're over it. Miss Althea coming in here. The Dumbstruck Fool says, it's a short list this week. But first and foremost, rest in peace, dear Nebula. No, not my cat. I was devastated to hear this news. No, I'm sorry. I probably ruined something for you. No, it was Hawking, our older cat. She's my little kitty. My little black kitty's perfectly good. She's probably sitting outside the door waiting for me to get done. So yeah, it was our older cat. Got some kind of E. coli infection or something, and we're like, I don't want that. Okay, why am I doing this with my hands? Miss Althea, here we go. I was devastated to hear this news. I have been there, done that, as you know. Not just with Delilah, but with 4 other cats before her. So I totally understand. Yeah, that's the thing about love, and loss is that, you go into it going, well, there's a very good, Miss Althea's 4 or 5 cats. She's outlived, you know what I mean? And then I was thinking about Great Danes. Those things only live for 9 years, 10 years, 8 years? And they're wonderful and beautiful and magnificent, but it's like I could never bring myself to get a Great Dane and go, because it's just like the party's going to be over soon. It's hard. It's part of life. It's part of your task at hand. Life would be boring if it was all gravy and cupcakes all the time, and life would be boring, or horrible if it was all bad all the time. You have to have the ups, you have to have the downs. They suck. I mean, my God, but it's what makes the good times so good, You did everything you could. I hope Hawking has met up with and has had at least one play date with all my kitties past Delilah, Dory, Ava, Dia, and Shandy. Yes, named after the Kiss song. Tonight will last us forever. On the other side of the Rainbow Bridge, yes indeed. And Den, here's something. And Den is still in the hospital as of this writing, but continuing to make progress, thank God. Well, that's good to hear. We're all sending I'm demanding that each and every one person sends positive vibrations to Den right now. Miss Althea on Dawkin. I have no recollection of an album released in 2023. Then again, I have always been a casual fan. That's what I think I was. I considered them done in the late 90s anyway, so whatever. I, as well as thousands of others, have been saying that Don should have cashed in his chips eons ago. Yeah. I mean, it's hard for him to say, oh, and she's got Ritchie Sambora in here, and I forgot to tell you my damn story about Ritchie Sambora. I'll tell you right now about it. I had the one damn episode. I'm going to do like a video where I talk about a little bit about each and every, because I've watched all the Billy Corgan, the Magnificent Bastards podcast, and he has a bastard on every week, a famous bastard, and I'm going to do a video about each and every one of those. But I'll tell you right now, the one I have not finished is Ritchie Sambora, because he was drunk. He's a goddamn drunk. Or he was on something, because, and the incomparable Billy was just having he was very professional with him. But Ritchie Sambora, I couldn't understand a thing he was saying. He was mumbling. He was going off the thing. Some of these people, I don't even know if they understand Billy's intellect. The way he lays out a question. They kind of go, huh? Those are that's weird words. But Ritchie was drunk, I believe. Because he kept picking up this cup over here with some clear, probably vodka in it. I'm not going to say it was, maybe it was water. But he kept looking off screen at someone like, hey, yeah. But it was just, I had to turn it off. That's the only one I haven't finished of Billy Corgan's. Ritchie Sambora here from Miss Althea and Hulu's Bon Jovi docuseries. I will say that it was an interesting watch, but I will also totally honestly say that it was at times laborious. A couple of the episodes were 90 minutes long, the length of a movie. And one of the drunken answers that I may have heard from Ritchie was, the thing was like 9 hours long. And he said something about he would have cut it to 2 hours or something. The length of a movie, so overall, a huge time investment. And it really was more about John than the band as a whole. So I am on the team Sambora with this one. I would estimate the content across the entire series as 80% John, 20% the band. Ritchie is absolutely right in that the whole thing could have been 2 hours long or just a damn episode if there was not such a hyper focus on John. All right, so maybe he was spitting a couple of answers out. I don't know. In that thing, he acted so damn drunk I couldn't watch it. It was starting to irritate me. I'll tell you, Carrot Top damn near did that to me too. A couple times where he kind of went flighty brained, and I do that a lot. I apologize for that. Carrot Top didn't apologize like I do you guys. But he was very entertaining as well. But so when you watch that video, when we get to the Ritchie Sambora, you're gonna hear me say he was drunk. He was a goddamn drunk on there. Allegedly. I don't want him to come at me. He's got a squadron of people that could come at me from every angle. And I'm just little old me. I'm just a little nobody. Okay? I want no harm. I want no, what is it? What's the word for it? I want no harm, no foul. Carrie King, Miss Althea on Carrie King. Is there some kind of quasi-endorsement deal going on where it is required for Henson Recording Studio to be mentioned in seemingly every article interview with him? Pardon me, Miss Althea. And I will say it again because I would be remiss if I did not. That studio was formerly A&M Studios, where Hide had space from the mid-90s up to his passing in 1998. And Crazy Girl Strip Club was, and still is, across the street. Hide would frequent that place, but primarily to drink. He didn't like the ladies dancing around. He cared more about the bourbon. She knows what I'm gonna say. He cared more about the bourbon than the boobs, apparently, although he did recruit a couple of the dancers as models. I use both terms loosely. For a magazine photo shoot in 1996. Miss Althea on Sharon Osbourne and Black Sabbath avatars. No, please. Oh, so that's what Mike was talking about when he said no avatars. Or whatever. Is yes. We don't need that. Keeping it bitchy. Miss Althea coming out on that with the peace. Peace emoticon. I like that. Oh boy. Here's the Revenant. He's coming in. He's got a part 1 and a part 2 to this damn thing. My God. Now, we're going to find out if we missed something. My comment is in 2 parts this week. Part 1 is my comment from last week that wasn't able to be shared due to technical difficulties. The second part is the follow-up to that one. Okay. Part 1. The Lorraine Lewis story is mostly true. She didn't break my nose, but she did hit my elbow. Want another story? Here's one. Okay, Ugly Coyote broke up, unfortunately, because we lost our harmonica guy, and I said, you got to hold on to that fella. A few others drifted off and found other gigs. I got good at playing guitar and attracted the attention of a guy who put together a Kiss cover band. Yes, the Catmandoos. The only thing was, this band only played songs by Ace and Peter, strictly no Gene, no Paul songs at all. The name of the band was Space Freely and the Catmandoos. The bassist, the lead guitar player, vocalist, and myself all wore business suits with Ace Space makeup, and the drummer wore a suit with Peter's makeup. All right, a la Dress to Kill era. All right. The drummer really got into character and refused to be seen without his makeup on and wore a face mask pre-COVID. Really? So he went way down. He would even make us address him as Kitty. Pete or Petey. Kitty, Pete, or Peter. I would have called him. You mind if we call you Petey? Wasn't that the name of that little bird that in Dumb and Dumber that they sold to the blind kid that's head popped off was Petey? It got really weird one night. We decided to all take a bunch of mushrooms before hitting the stage. Bad idea. Really bad idea. We ended our first set and went backstage, and guess who was there waiting for us? The real Peter Criss. Oh my God, dude. And you're buzzing. He was really cool and said he loved what we were doing and heard about us from his daughter. He said, whatever we did, don't let Gene find out. Or he will milk us dry. Our drummer stood by the band and said he was off to find... What? He will soak us dry. Our drummer stood by the real Peter and said his soul spoke to him via unspoken consciousness. I think it was the shrooms, but hey, who am I? He soon left the band and said he was off to find himself and moved to Utah. Haven't heard from him since. The experience also gave the vocalist a vision. Something new and fresh. He wanted to keep doing Kiss covers, but wanted to change the theme up every year or two, which led into our next incarnation, Mr. Blackwell and the Boys. We would play The Elder from start to finish. I'm just a boy. Finish and had 3 paid actors perform on stage with us. Really? Acting out the songs. The name comes from the song Mr. Blackwell and Just a Boy, and even played 2 original inspired by The Elder. One called The Mist of Avalon's Garden. So that's an original? Yeah. And the other one was called Me. Believe in me now. Believe in something more. That was the words. I believe in me. And you did Me, which was a sequel to the song I. This was a lot of fun until one night there was a terrible sword incident, which I'll tell you about next week. And we'll also go over the next theme. Love the show. Thank you for reading my comments. I believe in me, my dear friend, the Rev. Good. Because you, believe in you too. Part 2. So, as promised, here is another chapter. I had no idea I would have this much fun retelling all these crazy and mostly true stories. I am going to do another video of that as well. I had the idea that I make a video where you can put massive comments about stories to tell, and we'll take, kind of like we do here, but we'll take the story and maybe add some photos or whatever, but it'll be its own separate video. So say this here, if get in the comments of that video, tell your story, and as lengthy as you can or with all the details, and then we're just going to read it back and enjoy it, basically. And we're almost to a whiz break here. So, during the live performance of Mr. Blackwell and the Boys, we had 3 live actors playing out the songs as we jammed. During a rendition of Dark Light, one of the actors accidentally stabbed our singer directly in his armpit, causing injury. It was really bad. He was bleeding, but decided he would make it part of the show instead of ending it, and joined in on the acting part while still singing. The crowd loved it. After the show, he had to be rushed to the med center and was treated and released 2 days later. 2 days later, while on his healing bed, he had a vision of the next theme. Instead of doing all Ace and Peter tunes, he would now do all Gene and Paul songs. I came up with the name Stan Simmons and the Rock and Roll Overs. That's good, but was voted down by the rest of the band. And we went with Stan Simmons and the Love Guns. We did 6 shows total because the singer was convinced Gene knew about us and would sue us, and he would, for royalties. I mean, even Mini Kiss had to change their makeup. Didn't they? Didn't even the little fella Kiss, they had to change the design because it was... But then how Mr. Speed and all of them do it, right? So I don't know how that works. I don't know. Gene will figure it out. We had a new drummer, and the vibe wasn't the same, really, after Kitty Boom Boom or Pete left for Utah. We had on Leotard. We had on half Demon and half Star Child makeup with Gene Boots and Paul Leotard. Our lead guitar player was on the large side. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bud. He's got to get that treadmill. Larger side, and his leotard didn't fit correctly. And his scrotum would hang out the sides of the crotch area. God. Thank you for calling it a scrotum, by the way. Very professional in your storytelling. His scrotum. His scrotum was hanging out the side of the crotch area of the leotard. This resulted in us having to come up with a new outfit for him for the last 4 shows, thinking along the lines of Gene's Dynasty era costume, but we didn't have the money for the real thing, so we made it out of cardboard, metal plates we got at the scrapyard, tinfoil, and Reynolds wrap. Needless to say, it was a mess. It was a mess by the end of the night. And we always had to rebuild it. The whole Kiss cover band theme shows all lasted about 4 years. Man, is there any video of that? We did, not with the scrotum hanging out though. We did do a long run as the Rock and Roll Overs. And that's a solid name. And I was really proud of that time because that was the name I had envisioned. I almost want to say like I've heard that before, the rock and roll overs, like I've heard something. There were nights we would do entire albums, including a live and a live 2 albums. We even did double platinum, covered in silver paint from head to toe, just like the album. Sadly, our very last theme we did was Christine 16, and the Unmasked Destroyers back in 2001. We incorporated some 80s Kiss material when they didn't have the makeup on, but the songs weren't as good, and the people who would come to the shows would go to the bathroom or go get another beer when we played them. It was 11 months. It was 11-month run, wow, of shows that ended us doing one of the last shows. Sorry, my eyes are starting to kill me. One of the last shows as Space Freely and the Kathmandus, finally ending it where it all started and began. The singer got a job at UPS. Nice. Didn't want to pass it up for a Kiss cover band, and even though we made pretty decent money, can't say I blame him. I ended up investing money into Apple. What? I ended up investing money into Apple just before the iPhone came out. And my career has slowed a bit since then. I tried an Iron Maiden cover band for a while, but they didn't have the vision that Kiss... I tried an Iron Maiden cover band for a while. I've got to piss and my eyes are killing me. Pardon me. I tried an Iron Maiden cover band while they didn't have the vision that the Kiss cover band had. Another beautiful and well-executed podcast, Shane. My God, thank you gratefully for reading out my comments. You dear friend. Your dear friend, the Rev. Oh, there you go, buddy. All right. Get back, a honky cat, and better get back to the wood when I miss those days. You know, if we had the kind of budget around here, when I go to the bathroom, we could play Honky Cat by Elton John or something, but I don't have that kind of money. So it is what it is. But aren't you glad I'm cutting it out at least? Instead of leaving you hanging here? I think that's pretty good. Johnny B coming in, very short. I'm not seeing ... So okay, because I think he was on vacation. I saw vacation there. Another awesome show, Shane. I'm currently on vacation with my beloved family. So this is a short and sweet. I hope everyone is having a marvelous week. And I will be back in full force next week. Until then, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and keep your knees to the breeze. Well, I hope you're having a good time. Are you on another cruise? Those things frighten me, but not so much anymore. I mean, if there's like, aliens, I mean, this is a perfect time to talk about it. Johnny B there, if there's some kind of a 95% of the water that we don't know and that people are going, my God, they're coming out of the water. They're coming out of the water. I just saw it come out of the water. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm one of those aqua people. I feel like I love the water. And I'm not a very good swimmer, but I love the water. And I feel like, but it scares me to be out there on a boat in the middle of something that you don't know how deep it is what I was trying to get to. Big Tone coming in here. He says, Brother Shane, I think Mr. Dawkin needs to ride off into the sunset and concentrate on his health for once. He's given us enough good music over the years. And I don't think there's anything left in the tank. He ain't got a drop in there. Got to put ether on the carburetor with this guy. There were some great Dawkin tunes that stand the test of time. And he seems incapable of performing any longer. So it's time to call it a career and just enjoy life. Yeah, and what's wrong with that? One of the biggest lies that has ever been told to us is that we must produce. We must produce. It's one of the biggest lies ever told, is that you must be moving, doing, going, working, go. You don't know how good you can really get when you start to reinvestigate yourself inside. spend quiet time. You know that the majority of people in the world have never sat quietly with themselves with no distractions in the dark for 30 minutes? We're talking like big numbers here. We're talking like 75, 80% of the definitely the United States. How well do you know yourself if you can't sit alone in silence with yourself and forget all your thoughts? Every time a thought comes in, you throw it away. Meditation, you sit with yourself. It can be a scary thing until it becomes a wonderful thing. Sorry about that. I went off the charts here. Just when you think that, oh, wait a minute. Don't jump ahead. I still got to tell you about Sharon Osbourne, I think. Just when you think there's nothing more Sharon can do to shock us, she slithers out of hiding and drops another one. She's unbelievable with her control and greed. Still rocking the recovery. Thanks as always for the well wishes. And the last emojis were simulating a fist bump between friends. Oh, I like that. Yes, I can see it now. Do you mind if I start incorporating that into some of my texts and stuff? I like to ask before I just start going and doing things. Even though you would never know it if I was texting people and using that. You'd never know. Keep them coming, brother. Yeah. Hashtag get Shane to 100K. My God, let's do it. Someone called. Who would be the best person? James Hetfield? You know, someone like that and say, yeah. I'll tell you right now, if James Hetfield did one YouTube short where he said, yeah, man, I got to tell you about Shane Diablo. He's good. That's all he'd have to say. I'd have 1.5 million subscribers right now just off that one YouTube short of James Hetfield going, man, Shane Diablo is good. That would be something else, wouldn't it? There's your heart, Big Tone. Keep on the keeping on. Keep it getting better. You can do it. You're growing, knowing, showing that you are getting healthier by the moment. We've got a new fella here, as I did say, and I'm seeing John Kokithis down here, and I'm seeing ... So I hope he's not going to tell us a story about his Kiss cover band and getting punched by Lorraine Lewis. But we got a new person here. 2012 Dark Knight Rises. Is that Batman? That's a Batman avatar. 19 comments and 2 hearts received. Okay, so I've seen you around town. Rock legend Gene Simmons, yeah. First listen. Okay. First listen comment, really? Oh, I was thinking of the podcast. There is a... Oh, no. Is this what I believe it to be? I haven't even looked at the rest of the sentence, but is it a request? I should have looked at the comments below it. There is a band from Louisville, Kentucky called Kingslayer. Oh, so it's not. I know this because our band played 2 shows with them back in the day. Thank you, my friend. I apologize for any kind of negativity that may have come across there. But I thought you were about to launch into my Louisville, Kentucky band. And you're welcome to do that in every other video. But I want to get your real opinions and meat cheese, whatever's going on in your brain. There is a band from Louisville, Kentucky called Kingslayer. I know this because our band played 2 shows with them back in the day. I don't know what that fingering thing was, you guys. That girl there. Did you see that picture of that girl? I don't know what that was. Where it's talking about fingering or something. Kingslayer. It's a Bring Me the Horizon song, Kingslayer. Artists. Baby Metal. Kingslayer. Is this that? Oh, here's a rap guy. Here's another bunch of dudes. Like a callboy. Do these guys look... Oh, these guys are from Louisville, Kentucky, right? A Lake Point Yacht Club. These guys are from... Let's see if I hit it. Fuck with mean you know when you got it. Let's see if they're from Kentucky. This might be them. Stop glorifying rats. What? You'll have to tell me, bud. You don't tell me. And again, I don't know what that thing was. That girl going like that. Why in the hell was that popped up there? Yes, the spacey EDM was on there. Yes, I got a great new wave playlist. I can't remember what else we were showing. Was it Opeth? Because I listened to that freaking latest record all the way through too, and just amazing. Thank you, my friend. I wish you had a better, I'm sure you love that name, 2012 Dark Knight Rises, but I really wish you had something that was a little more meaningful to you, but maybe that is meaningful. Maybe 2012 was a wonderful year for you. John Kokitha's coming in here. I believe it's the right time for Dawn to retire. Between the health and the vocal problems that he's been experiencing lately, I think it's best to do it sooner than later. And Heaven Comes Down is not a bad album. That's two for that. That's two for that says, and Heaven Comes Down is not a bad album to end with. Isn't that exactly what Mike Buchanan said? It had a few highlights on there, like Fugitive, Just Like a Rose, and I Remember. The man has given us over 40 years of incredible songwriting and vocal performances, so a near future retirement will be well deserved. For the situation with Sharon Osbourne, I really hope that they do not create a hologram, ... I think what happened is John here ... it off. I like to ... off too. So I think that's what he did there. Because if he's got more, John, I apologize. Guys, we're almost out of here. We are literally minutes away from being out of here. Somebody's happy about it. And some people are sad about it, probably, too. Dennis Tate coming in. Says, fantastic job as always. Thanks, sir. Don't call me sir. You can call me Shane. All right, Dennis? There you go, buddy. Thank you for tuning in and saying that. And then Vermont Bread coming. I haven't seen you in a while. Is this translated into English? Says, hi, Shane. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, you know what? You're going to get a... Hi, Vermont Bread. What you doing? Now we'll sit here for another 45 minutes or days and wait for the return message. No. We're out of here, guys. Thank you, one and all. I love you. Wish you all the best in the world. Want you to succeed in every single way. I'd like to succeed in a couple of ways, too, to be honest with you. But, hey, whatever. I got to get us tuned this time, guys. I got to... Listen to that damn podcast. I got to tell you, it was pretty damn good. Really? Thank you. I really appreciate that coming from you. And it was just a really good one. I like it how you do them silly little songs in the beginning and the end. Oh, really? Like this? John Dawkins with Shane D. Get your mama fucking heavy metal news for free. It's so fun, we have some laughs and some fun. I spit on my lips, it gets out of the lips again. Now that's the kind of tune I'm telling you about. I love it when I tell you to do them tunes. Jive Talkin with Shane D. It's over now, but come back next week for some more tea.